Hey there. You are watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa. Today I am here with a new short play, a short Let's Play, where we will be playing through Kim for the next few episodes. Kim is an early access game now available on Steam. But before you might think, oh, this game is unfinished. Oh, but I beg to differ, because this is the most complete and together early access game I've seen. And so it's really, to me, it looks finished. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you into the world of Kim. But what is the world of Kim? Well, Kim is based on a Nobel Prize-winning novel by Rudyard Kipling. And the novel is called Kim. It's about an urchin boy who is living in India. It's definitely a classic novel. You may have heard of it. If you're unsure of who Rudyard Kipling is, he also wrote something you've probably heard of called The Jungle Book, a famous film by Disney. He wrote the Just So stories, which I had a copy of and is really cute. It's kind of like animal fables, basically. He wrote Captain's Courageous. So he is a very famous English writer, and he was actually born in India. So Kim is about an orphaned son of an Irish soldier and a poor Irish mother living in India. So let's head into the game, and then I'll tell you more about it as we play. Welcome to the world of Kim. First thing I love about this game, and there are many things I love about this game, is that they have, when you go to a new city, new location, new village, it has a real picture from that time period. How awesome is that? This is a photograph. It's so great. So, and also before we jump in, I want to thank Secret Games Company and developer Jeremy at Secret Games Company for helping me bring this game to the channel. He has been a wonderful help through the process, and they're so excited about Kim, and as well they should be, because it is incredibly unique. And we often think of video games as our own stories, and that's one of the things we do here at the Jessa Channel. Well, what more story can you get than actually going into the world of a novel? I'm so excited. It's so awesome. I really do love this game. I've played through about an hour of it, and it is fascinating. So let's jump in, and I will show you how it works. Once capital of Ranjit Singh's Sikh Empire, I don't know how you say that, so there's a lot of words here that are difficult to pronounce. So I'm inviting the devs at Secret Games Company, or you, if you are Indian or fluent, know how to pronounce these words, that would be great. Once capital of Ranjit Singh's Sikh Empire, it fell during the Second Anglo-Sikh War. The foe were driven back into what I am pronouncing as Lahore, which was occupied by the British, and a treaty signed. This, however, was most basely, treacherously, and perfidiously, I love that word, broken by the Sikhs. Recourse was again had to arms, and then followed the brilliant victories of Chilianwala, fought by Lord Gough, who held the field but at great loss. So they won that battle, but a lot of people lost their lives. And that was won on the 13th of January, 1849. And that of Gujarat, fought by Lord Gough as well, on 21st February, 1849. Lahore is surrounded by a brick wall, which was 25 feet high, well mounted with heavy ordnance. We can see the brick wall here. And having an excellent trench round the whole, but which has been considerably lowered. The wall or the trench? Probably the trench. The fort, citadel, lies at the northwest angle of the town and contains large, well-stored magazines and manufactories of warlike implements, etc. This was from Murray's Handbook of the Punjab, Western Rajputania, Kashmir, and Upper Sindh, or Sindh, or Sindh, 1883. So, let's dive into the game. Right here's our character, Kim. Behind us walks in, well, who is this? He says, "Oh, child. Oh, child, what is that big house?" I think he's pointing at this here. And here we are. This is Kim. Now, before we go any farther, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Kim. So Kim, you would think, is an Indian child, but actually he's not. As I'd mentioned, he is the orphaned son of an Irish soldier and a poor Irish mother who have both died in poverty, living a vagabond existence, which we're going to play up to the best of our ability. In India under British rule in the late 19th century, Kim earns his living by begging and running small errands on the streets of Lahore, where we are. He occasionally works for Mahbub. I don't know if we'll meet Mahbub in a minute. Ali, a Pashtun horse trader. And I'll stop right there. That is, by the way, from Wikipedia. And I'm also going to put a link to Kim, where you can buy a copy for yourself on Amazon and enjoy this amazing Nobel Prize winning bit of classic literature. "Oh, child, what is that big house?" Kim waves at it. "The Wonder House." He's curious. "What is your caste? Where's your house? Have you come far?" Lama replies, and from now on I'm going to call him Lama so it doesn't sound like I'm sneezing every time I say his first name. "I came by Kulu from beyond the Kalas. But what know you? From the hills where sigh. The air and the water are fresh and cool. Unlike here," is probably what he's saying, where it's hot and dry and dusty. Kim is excited. "A guru from Tibet? I have not seen such a man. They are Hindus in Tibet then?" Lama replies, "We be followers of the middle way, living in peace in our lamissaries," which I think might be a monastery. "And I go to see the 4 holy places before I die." So he's on a pilgrimage. He turned his head like an old tortoise in the sunlight. Now remember, this is what we're reading is actually from the Kim book. So if you happen to get a copy of Kim or have one already or know about it, it's like we're reading the book and living in it. So fascinating. He turned his head like an old tortoise in the sunlight. "It is long since I have eaten or drunk. What is the custom of charity in this town? In silence, as we do in Tibet, or speaking aloud?" So because he's a monk, he can ask for charity, and I suppose you don't want to refuse a monk because, I don't know, maybe it might give you bad luck or something. Kim replies, "Those who beg in silence starve in silence. Here, give me the bowl. I know the people of this city, all who are charitable. Give, and I will bring it back filled." He hands us the bowl. And Kim, our character here, is going to walk over here. And you can see him moving. I love how he walks. It's so cool. And this is a marketplace run by Zulfikar Dugal. He is a zealot, athletic, grumpy, and poor. So I think the devs are going to be watching this, and if that's the case, I'd like to know how these traits play into the RPG aspects, like besides just giving us knowledge about the character. We'll find out more about that as we go along. So we're going to beg for Lama, beg for our friend whose name is Lama. "There is a new priest in the city, a man such as I've never seen." Kim is very excited. "Old priest, young tiger. I'm tired of new priests. They settle on our wares like flies. Is my father a well of charity to give to all who ask?" Yeah, I can see that he wants to make a dime, and he can't keep giving food away to his priests. Kim replies, no, he is rather yaggy, bad-tempered, rather than yogi. Probably warning like, you don't want to piss this monk off, basically. Come, friend, fill me this bowl. He waits. Kim also is using this opportunity for himself to get some food because, heck, we're hungry. That bowl indeed. Ugh, that cow-bellied basket. So I read through this a couple of times before. I think what it means is that it's a bowl that's so, like a cow eats so much. So he has to put so much food into that huge bowl. Ugh, maybe a smaller bowl. Anyway. The bowl was returned full of hot rice. So we got a big meal. But, and this is where the roleplay comes in, we're urchins. We are vagabonds. We're little thieving buggers. So, we're going to play him, but over time, perhaps, the longer you play, as you play the game, you can decide to start that way. And in circumstances, as with any good role-playing game, influence your character, and you maybe will end up being a respectable citizen. Who knows? So we're not going to just accept this bowl of measly rice. We've got a monk on our side. So let's go for a little bit more. But my yogi is not a cow. And a little curry would please him, I think. Cows don't like curry, but my monk does. The grocer relented. Kim looked at the load lovingly. He practically wants to stroke it. Llama, seeing our success, walks over. There's a dog there. Chickens. It's really funny. They ate together in great content, clearing the begging bowl, and then sat in quiet satisfaction as the light faded. I think that so old a man as you, speaking the truth to chance-met people, is in need of a disciple. So we're going to try and see if we can't hook up with this guy and go on travels with him. Llama replies, why, yes. And that also you can see down here that unlocked a quest. Why, yes, you can be my chela. And that means disciple. And I can teach you the law, probably his religion. By this, I know that I shall find a certain river for which I seek, the river of the arrow, which washes away all taint and speckle of sin. Let us begin our search. So this is cool because we're sinful. And goodness knows we could use a good bath in whatever river that is. Not by night. Thieves are about. Wait until the day. So we can't leave the city right now. We'll get robbed. Llama looks about, but there's no place to sleep. The old man was used to the order of his monastery. And though he slept on the ground in the monastery, as the rule decrees, the rules of the monastery, he preferred a decency in these things. So in other words, he's not afraid to sleep on the ground, but not like on the muddy street right here with a dog and a cat walking by and a chicken. Kim says, look, we shall get lodging at Kashmir Sarai. I have a friend there. Come. And Kim gets up and runs off. So that's Kim here. We're going to tell him to head over here to aforementioned friend. Excuse me. Place to sleep. The horse trader, his deep embroidered Bakhariat belt. I'd really like to know what a Bakhariat belt looks like, so if somebody could Google that and throw an image up here in the comments, I'd appreciate that. Unloosed, was lying on a pair of silk carpet saddlebags, comfy, pulling lazily at an immense silver hookah. Most people know what a hookah is, but in case you don't, it's there was a character, Caterpillar, in Alice in Wonderland who smoked a big hookah, and I guess they were more popular back in this time. But they're filled with water, and you can smoke herbs through it, and I'll leave it at that. We don't know what he was smoking in there. Could have been anything besides what we're all thinking about. And so this is my bub, who I keep saying my boob, and I might just keep saying that just because it just, I don't know, flows off the tongue easier, and it's funny. Little friend of all the world, what is this? But let me know, like I said, Secret Games, if I'm completely butchering his name. Little Little friend of all the world, what is this? Nothing. I am now that holy man's disciple, and we go on a pilgrimage together. And he points a thumb behind him at Lama. Mahbub puffed his hookah in silence. Then he began, almost whispering. Do this for me. In Ambala, which is a place, you will find a sahib. I believe, and I could be wrong on this, that sahib was like a British military man, or maybe a British upper class person. You will find a sahib called Colonel Creighton. Let it be known to him that a horse, a white stallion which I have sold to an officer the last time I returned from the passes, has had its pedigree established. Huh, interesting. So we have received bread, and that has also given us a new quest. He turned, as feeling on the floor beside him, and tossed a flap of soft, greasy, muscle man bread to the boy. The bread was strangely heavy. Kim looks at the bread in wonder, and all for the sake of a white stallion. Oh, we're amazed at the largesse we have received. You may lie down among my horse boys, you and the llama. Return soon. You are always welcome here. So wow, the llama has really changed our luck for the better. The bread held 100 rupees, an enormous largesse. He knew he had rendered a service to Mahbub Ali, and not for one little minute did he believe the tale of the stallion's pedigree. So this shows that Kim is actually maybe not wise, astute. That's the word I'm looking for. He notices. And that brings me to Wikipedia again, where we were talking about a Pashtun, I should say, that's spelled Pashtun, Tun, horse trader, who is one of the native operatives of the British Secret Service. Kim is so immersed in local culture, few realize he is a white child, though he carries a packet of documents from his father, entrusted to him by an Indian woman who cared for him. Kim befriends an aged Tibetan Lama who is on a quest to free himself from the Wheel of Things by finding the legendary River of Arrow. Kim becomes his chela, or disciple, and accompanies him on his journey. On the way, Kim incidentally learns about parts of the Great Game. The Great Game was a huge political struggle between, I believe, the British Empire and the Russian Empire. I could be wrong. Actually, you know what? Why don't I not be wrong? Why don't I just click this and see? The British Empire and the Russian Empire for supremacy in Central Asia. Anyway, and he is recruited by Mahbub Ali to carry a message to the head of the British intelligence in Ambala. Kim's trip with the Lama along the Grand Trunk Road is the first great adventure in the novel, and that's what we're going to be playing. So that gives us the opportunity to open up the sleep menu and go to the horse trailers and sleep for 12 hours. I don't think we can, right now we can't change this, but later on you can actually sleep less hours. So I've learned that this is basically a loading screen, and they're excerpts from Kim, and they don't necessarily have anything to do with what's going on right now in the story, but they're just excerpts. That's what I think it is. Kim's bright eyes were open wide. This broad, smiling river of life he considered was a vast improvement on the cramped and crowded Lahore streets. There were new people and new sights at every stride, casts he knew and casts that were altogether out of his experience. They met a troop of long-haired, strong-scented Sansis with baskets of lizards and other unclean food on their backs, their lean dogs sniffing at their heels. So it's just another way to learn more about the game of Kim, the Book of Kim. And so that concludes our introduction. We are free to explore India we're free to explore, but be careful. India can be a harsh place for one so young. Carry food, eat regularly, and get enough sleep. As you travel, speak to people. Who knows what they might offer you? This is your youth. Make the most of it. And this is the interesting thing about this game, and governs or shows you how you want to play it, because we are now 13 years of age, and the game goes until we're 18, and then it ends. The story ends. So how are we going to turn out? Are we going to continue to be a thieving vagabond? What's going to happen to us in those very important 5 years? That's what the game's about. When you turn 18, the story will end, but you may retell it as many times as you wish. The following labels show what each button does. And so when you end the game, you'll get a victory screen, or a screen that lets you know how you did, and then you can go back and play the game again. And I believe that it is different each time, though I'm not sure how much different, like whether we get different types of quests or the quests are randomized. That part I'm not sure on. Anyway, here's the pause button. This shows our health, our happiness, and our fatigue. The menu, the map, which is cool. We'll look at that in a minute. The inventory and our current amount of money. We got 100 rupees, more money than we've had in our whole life. Objectives, our current quests. Combat mode, which is cute. I'll show you that. And stealth mode, which we're going to be in a lot. You can get caught for thieving, and you can go to prison. Okay, so now we are free. The camera is free. It is currently 7 a.m. on April 11th, 1879. And let's see here. Let's look at this. So we're hungry this morning. We haven't eaten since last night. So let's take some curry and sup curry. We have rice and bread. I'll save that. Our happiness is 69 right now. Happiness grows as you acquire merit and stay healthy. These are our current recent effects. This is the ability to sleep. We can sleep rough anywhere. But if there's a place on the current screen where we can sleep, we can show that as well too. And over here you can see that you can scroll out here. When we're actually tired, this number will change and show us how many hours we need to get to our fatigue to 0. Over here is a menu. Hide buttons in case maybe you want to take a picture of the screen or something. Let me pause this. And then over here is a map. The map is cool. This map shows the area you are now free to explore, as well as the location, if known, of any objectives you have unlocked. You can also select warrants to see where Kim might run into trouble with the police. And that's probably going to happen. Here's the map. Currently, we are in Lahore, in British India. North is Peshawar, Amritsar, Ferozepur. But we need to head to Ambala to deliver that message for Ali, the horse trader. This is cool. This is our current character panel. Shows a kind of briefcase. I imagine that this is perhaps his father's. And before his father died, maybe he gave him this. And it's the last thing that Kim has from his parents and his most treasured possession. This suitcase holds all Kim's earthly possessions. You can use it to change his outfit or weapon, interact with items he's collected, or track his stats. So, you can see here that he is 13 years old. We have no merit right now. He's wearing an urchin outfit, just this right here. And he currently can only use his fists, but we'll get a weapon. We have intelligence, stealth, speed, strength, and dexterity. You can click on it, and we definitely want to get our stealth up. Let's see. A dirty, ragged outfit cobbled together over the years. Changing outfit can help you escape detection. That's a big part of it. We want to get as many different outfits as we can to be able to go, because some of the temples, for example, are closed off to us unless we're wearing the outfit of the the people of the temple. Combat mode. You've activated combat mode. Now you can order Kim to attack other people. Be careful not to attack policemen, as they will arrest you, or worse. You might even get a beating. To avoid a beating, find a good weapon before getting in fights. Turn combat mode on and off with this cross swords button. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to turn it off now because we don't want to fight anybody. And stealth mode. Ooh, stealth mode is fun. And the designers did a good job with it. It's a simple concept. Basically, you want to, do it when no one's looking, right? So it shows you a cone of the vision area of the people around you. The more people are looking away from you, the less chance you have of being caught. You've activated stealth mode. Now you can see where other people are looking, but Kim will move slower as he looks around him. This is useful if you're worried people might object to whatever Kim is getting up to, which is usually no good. Turn stealth mode on and off with the bottom right button. So you can see stealth mode on now, and as people are turning. So that's a neat feature. Let's turn that off now. And we're going to have another talk with Llama here. And at this point, we can also see the traits. For example, he's honest, so we don't want to steal when he's around, as he will report us. Happy to accept less for small items, slightly prefers those of the same religion, trim physique, and fine fettle. Oh yes, he's a fine fettle. Let's talk to him about training. Oh, about the train, I get it. If you wish to visit the holy places, we must first take the terrain to Umbala. And that makes me think, I wonder if the word train came from terrain, the word terrain. Llama asks, why not the road? At this point, we have our first decision that we can make. Do we want to go by train or we can travel by road? I think that Kim would not want to have to spend too much of this 100 rupees he got, and would find the road probably more interesting. So we'll travel by the road for a little while, and then if he gets tired of it, it will also please Llama to travel by the road. Let's ask about his search, because he wants to find the River of Arrow, and we don't know where that is at all. Oh, Holy One, what is the purpose of your pilgrimage? Tell me of this River of the arrow you seek. Our gracious Lord once fired an arrow that passed far and far beyond sight. At last it fell, and where it touched earth, there broke out a stream, which presently became a river of healing. Thou dost not then know of the river? So now we can be honest, or we can pretend to know it. Of course, we're going to pretend to know it. Oh, absolutely. The River of Arrow. Been there 100 times. Kim laughed uneasily. I go to look for a bull, a red bull on a green field who shall help me. I think he's making this up on the spot. Boy-like, if an acquaintance had a scheme, Kim was ready with one of his own. Okay, so what this means is, like a boy, like any boy, if an acquaintance had a scheme, Kim was ready with one of his own. And also like any boy, he had really thought for as much as 20 minutes at a time of his father's prophecy. That I don't understand, his father's prophecy. Llama is asking for what? I guess why he was worrying about a bull or something? Not sure. God knows. But so my father told me, if one so old and so little, so used to truth-telling, he's speaking of the llama, may go out for the small matter of a river, it seems to me that I must go a-traveling. I too must go a-traveling. And then Kim has big dreams. Perhaps they will make me a king. I will teach thee other and better desires upon the road, less desires of greediness and more maybe desires of faith or heart. Okay, so they're getting to know each other. Let's see if Maboob has anything to say to me. Let's ask him about my father. Oh, I see. So his father talked about a red bull on a green field? A prophecy? Not sure. Mahbub Ali, I told thee of my father's prophecies of the red bull on a green field. Not I, 900 first-class devils and a colonel on a horse were to attend to you. How could a man forget? So basically, I mean, he must be saying, you've told me that 100 times. But my father, what kind of man was he? Oh, poor O'Hara. So, yeah, Kimball O'Hara. I remember Kimball as a young color sergeant. Oh, so we're named after our father, who was also named Kimball. I remember Kimball as a young color sergeant of the Mavericks, an Irish regiment. And I remember your mother, too, a nursemaid. Theirs was a sad story, boy. 'Tis well you are now our little friend of all the world, and you have me for a family. Little friend of all the world, I guess, just means someone who's really loved by, well, I'm totally making that up. I don't know what that means. If you have a good guess, let me know. I have an idea of it, but I cannot put it yet into words. And what of my father's prophecy? Was there truth in it? Or maybe he was just talking. There's no profit in prophecies. True or not, yours is like all the others. So Kim thinks maybe this prophecy might lead him to wealth or to become a king. Oh, let's speak of profit. He gave us 5 rupees. So we begged for rupees and he gave us some. Get some sweetmeats. Sweetmeats. That's all you think of. And it is all we think of. We're a growing boy. Let's head over here and do a little shopping. We now have 105 rupees. I love the chicken, the cat. Oh, and also when I come out of the screen, I'll show you that you can zoom in and out. So we're going to beg again for llama and see if it'll work again. It is your lucky day. I and my most revered llama have come to grace your stall. We only ask for a meal to feed ourselves. Lucky day for you, more like. Tell your llama we are good people worthy of his blessing. Haha, and received a peach. Oh, and cheese. Excellent. What else? Let's ask him about being a Muslim. You must be a Muslim. How often do you pray? Whenever I can, boy, as should you. When you hear the call, look west and kneel. I'll listen out. That raises his opinion. So talking to people will raise their opinion and sometimes give you merit, but also it helps in lowering the prices with the grocer. So that's important. Let's ask him about Lahore so we can learn more about it. I love the music of this game, especially this particular piece. Do you know much about Lahore? Lahore is a proud city, once a capital in its own right, with the landmarks to show for it. Oh, we were once a capital. The shopping, however, is limited. There's not much to choose from and the prices are quite high. There is a doctor, though, and that brings up something in this game. You can get sick in this game, and if you don't get healing, it will lower your happiness, and I don't know what happens when your happiness hits 0. And also, I'm imagining when your health hits 0, you will get quite sick. Let's have a peach for breakfast. Okay, so here's the doctor over here. You can head over there, and we don't need healing, but I just wanted to show you where he is. The Hindu doctor, Daman Pawan, age 26, opinion 67. Let's ask him about being a Hindu and see if we can lower the price in case we get sick later on. Why do you Hindus have so many gods? Our gods are the old gods, the true gods of India. Join us, young one, and be free. So you can see the Hindus think their God is the true God, and the Buddhists, the Muslims. And that raises his opinion, and I think, yeah, lowers prices. Unlocked, get a Hindu outfit. So as we talk to people, we will want to get an outfit, but I don't know, and I didn't figure out in my playtesting where you get an outfit from. Let me open that up. So you can see that this is bandages, medicine box, and he'll heal us, which we don't need now. So I haven't figured that out. Do you just do it by sneaking into different houses at certain times? We can't do that now. And let me zoom in, by the way, so you can see. You can zoom in quite a ways. And the hand-drawn feature, you can hear voices of people. But the hand-drawn nature of the game is wonderful. So let me show you. We're going to head over here. And all you have to do is right-click to head. Just click to where you want to head to. And as you're near something, it will show you if you can interact with it or not. This is the Wonder House, which is what Llama asked us about when he first walked into town. So we're going to take a look at it. And once again, see, look at this, a real picture of it. The Wonder House was, or possibly still is, a real place. Wouldn't it be neat if you could actually go to India and visit these places that you learned about in the game? The museum, which is called by the Indians Ajib Gher, Ajib Gher, was constructed for the Punjab exposition of Punjab exhibition of 1864, and was to have been replaced by one better adapted for a museum, but funds have not been forthcoming. On a raised platform in front of the entrance is the famous gun called the Zamzama, meaning a lion's roar. On the table in the entrance hall is a book in which visitors are expected to enter their names. There are also Baden-Powell's works, Mr. Baden-Powell's works, that's probably a real person, Punjab products, and Punjab manufacturers. I'll have to look up what the word Punjab means, but if you know, could you let me know down below? Thank you. In the central aisle, we'll be seeing a series of portraits hung between the arches, representing princes and chiefs of the Punjab. They are by an Indian artist, and as specimens of art cannot be much praised. I think that means they're very good, maybe cannot be too much praised. Specimens of the manufacturers of the province will be found in the cases, so showing off the kind of different items of the province. Once again, that's from Murray's Handbook of the Punjab. So you just click anywhere out there. We can enter the Lahore Museum, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm going to end this episode here. And we will continue on exploring Lahore, and then we will head in. And so I'm going to pause us here with the menu. And then we were going to take the Great Trunk Road to Ambala. So I am really curious to know what you think of Kim, which is currently available as an early access game. That's a really unique opportunity here because you can talk with the people at Secret Games Development who have developed this game, leave comments on Steam in the discussions, and they take those comments into account. They plan on releasing this game completely in the fall. But as I've played the game, as I mentioned before, it looks really complete. There's quests. The game looks gorgeous, and I wouldn't have known it was early access unless I'd known that already. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below, and if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here in India in 1879 in the next episode. And as always, thank you so much for watching.